Hola, estudiantes fabulosos. Hello, fabulous students. Espero que todos estén bien. I hope everyone is doing good. So, for today, we will be discussing basic self introduction. Yeah. So, last week we have discussed how to open and close a conversation, and also you have been introduced with basic introduction of names and as well as asking for that. Now, today in this video, you will be learning more elements in the basic self introduction. And what are those? For example, like telling your age, your country of origin, where do you live in right now, what do you do, and what languages do you speak. That are the things that we will be learning today in this video. How do we say that in Spanish? Now, I know it sounds a lot, but yes, it is indeed a lot. But the only way to make this work is that you keep watching this video and memorize it so that during our recitation in the next synchronous meeting, you will all be able to practice it. Okay? We will be asking each other, we will be doing some role plays. So I hope that you really watch this video, learn it by heart, and watch it over and over again so that during the meeting, you will not give answers like, Mom, I did not watch. Mom, I was not able to study, and so on. This is a lot. So preparation is the key. All right. So let's begin. Presentación básica, basic self-introduction. All right. Also, introducción. Now we will be asking and also introducing our names. El nombre. El nombre. Repite, por favor. El nombre. Right. Don't forget, you have to repeat after me, okay? La edad. We also have to know and ask for the age. La edad. Repite, por favor. La edad. All right. We also have el país or el lugar. El país, el lugar. That's the country. Repite, por favor. El país, el lugar. Muy bien. We also have la residencia. La residencia is a place of residence. Repite, por favor. La residencia. And we also have la profesión. La profesión. Repite, por favor. La profesión. Muy bien. And lastly, we also have los idiomas. Los idiomas, or the languages that you can speak. Repite, por favor. Los idiomas. Muy bien. All right, so these are all the elements that we will be discussing today. After the video or after the discussion, you will be able to know how to introduce yourself and give these following informations about yourself. And as well as you are also able to ask these informations to others. Okay. So preguntas. Preguntas means questions. Of course, first we have to learn how to ask this information to other people. So preguntas, we have the first one. We have to ask about the name and we have to say, ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? Repita, por favor. ¿Cómo te llamas? Llamas. All right. Now we also have ¿Cómo se llama? Repita, por favor. ¿Cómo se llama? And this we have already discussed last meeting. We have informal and formal situation. wherein we have to use como te llamas if it's in a formal situation. And again, that's going to be with friends and families. And then como se llama when it comes to formal situation. And that's going to be, of course, for example, in the workplace or strangers, talking to strangers, right? We also have ¿Cuál es tu nombre? Repite, por favor. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? And we also have informal, for formal situations, ¿Cuál es su nombre? ¿Cuál es su nombre? Repite, por favor. ¿Cuál es su nombre? Muy bien. And you already know this. The answer to that, if you want to say your name, it's either me llamo, mi nombre, or soy. Again, repite por favor. Me llamo, mi nombre, soy. And if I'm going to introduce my name, I would say me llamo María. Mi nombre María. Or soy María. All right? Now, next element, we have to ask for the age. Okay? So, we have here, ¿qué edad tienes? ¿Qué edad tienes? This is in informal situations. Repite, por favor. ¿Qué edad tienes? ¿Qué edad tienes? For formal situations, you just drop the S in tienes. And so you would say, ¿qué edad tiene? ¿Qué edad tiene? Repite, por favor. ¿Qué edad tiene? Muy bien. You can also ask, ¿cuántos años tienes? Or for formal situation, ¿cuántos años tiene? Good. Now, I'm now leaving some pauses, some long pauses after I repeat some words so that it would be automatically your turn to repeat after me. Okay? So that I don't have to say repita, por favor, every time. Okay? All right. So, ¿qué and cuantos? You can now encounter here more interrogative words, no? But that we will be discussing further later on. But for now, you just have to get familiarized with these questions, okay? Once you hear this, edad, it means people are asking for your age, okay? To answer that, we would say tengo, and then your age, años, okay? Tengo años. Let's give an example. I wouldn't want to reveal my age, so let's cite an example. Let's say 20 years old. If you are 20 years old, of course, again, my age is a secret. So, tengo 20 años. Tengo 20 años. Okay, this is if you are 20 years old. 20 years old. Now, for the numbers of your ages, I will leave that to you as your assignment. You have to search for the Spanish translation of your age, and that's you just have to put it here as your answer for your age or information. Okay? So, don't worry, we will be discussing more on numbers in the next meetings. All right? But then again, that I think would be more on memorization. So as early as now, I want you to get familiarized yourself with the numbers, the Spanish numbers. And we start with knowing how to say your age in Spanish. So again, tengo 20 años. Next, let's clear that and let's go to the next question. Your place of origin. Okay. ¿De dónde eres? Now, there's a two here, but you can omit that. Okay. You can say de dónde eres instead of saying de dónde eres tú, right? ¿De dónde eres? Okay. And the formal version of that is ¿de dónde es? And again, it is usted because it's formal, but you can drop that because if you use eres, it's informal. If you use es, is formal. Okay. ¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde es? Good. Now, more on that pronouns. We have soy, eres, es. These are pronouns of ser. Okay. But we will be discussing this in the next meetings again. But for today, for this time, you have to learn or to have an overview of how we introduce ourselves in Spanish. ¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde es? And you can answer soy is me, I rather, soy de. And if you're coming from Philippines, then you can say soy de Filipinas. Soy de Filipinas. And again, if you're coming from other countries besides Philippines, it's your turn. You have to research how to say your country's name in Spanish. All right? Okay. Let's move on to the next. Now we have ¿Dónde vives? This is now asking where do you live currently? Okay? In the present time, where do you live right now? ¿Dónde vives? ¿Dónde vives? And take note that's informal. When you want that informal, then again, just drop the S. ¿Dónde vive? ¿Dónde vive? And to answer that, of course, you just have to say the place where you live right now. And I live right now in Berlin. I would say vivo in Berlin. Vivo en Berlin because I'm staying right now in Berlin. All right. Now, for some of you who are staying in Baguio, Baguio City, Philippines, then you can say vivo en Baguio or vivo in Manila. You can just say the name of the place you're living right now. As simple as that. Next. We are now going to ask, what do you do? No? In terms of job. I not what are you doing like right now, eating or something like that. No, it's what do you do? ¿Qué haces? Is what is the job you have right now? What do you do for a living? Okay. But since you are all students, then later on, you just have to say estudiante. All right. But let me discuss this again. ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué haces? Remember silent H. ¿Qué haces? Muy bien. For formal, just drop the S again. ¿Qué hace? ¿Qué hace? You can also ask, ¿a qué te dedicas? ¿A qué te dedicas? For formal, ¿a qué se dedica? Now you have to take note. You also drop the S, but at the same time, you now use se instead of te. ¿A qué se dedica? All right. I've already put that in here. Soy estudiante. No, because that's what all of you have to say. Soy estudiante. You're all my students right now. So, soy estudiante. If you have some other jobs, then also you can say that. And I'm interested to hear that when we are having our synchronous meeting. Let's see if you have some other jobs and how would you say that in Spanish? I can't wait to hear all that. For me, I would say soy profesora de español. Soy profesora de español. Or I could also say soy profesora de lenguas extranjeras. Soy profesora de lenguas extranjeras. I am a foreign language teacher, or I am a Spanish teacher. Right? I am a professor of Spanish language, or I am a professor of foreign language. Soy profesora de español, or soy profesora de lenguas extranjeras. Muy bien, teacher. Okay. Next. ¿Qué idiomas hablas? ¿Qué idiomas hablas? What languages do you speak? ¿Qué idiomas hablas? Okay. For formal, you just drop the S. Now, you would already notice these informal have S in the ending of the verb hablas. And if you want to make it formal, they drop the S, habla. Okay. So it means if you hear S at the end, if you're speaking informally, hablas, it means you are talking to a second person. Okay. Second person, hablas. If I say I speak, it's hablo. Okay. Now, this is just a short introduction because I don't want you guys to just memorize all of it without knowing it. So, hablo is I speak, hablas is you speak. This is now called the verb conjugation. You conjugate the verb according to the subject of the sentence. I speak, you speak, hablas. Okay. Now I won't add further because it's all going to be overloading your brain. Right? So just remember it has S, hablas, which means you are talking to someone. Okay. The second person. Now, you can also say, ¿qué lenguas hablas? ¿Qué lenguas hablas? Lenguas is also languages, okay? They both mean idiomas and lenguas mean languages. And drop the S again if you're asking someone, some stranger or your client or someone in formal situation, no? ¿Qué lenguas habla? ¿Qué lenguas habla? Muy bien. Now, to answer that, you can just say hablo. This is what I'm saying now. Hablo, I speak. What do you speak? So you can say hablo inglés, because I know you all can speak English. You can also add Filipino, obviously, of course, our national language. For my case, I can add Alemán because I can speak German. I can also add Español, but if you want to say, or if you want to put that, then you can say un poco de español. Un poco de español. Y if you speak some other languages, un poco de español y japonés. Japonés. That's just me. No, hablo inglés, filipino, alemán, español y un poco de japonés. Okay. Un poco is a little bit of. You can say that because now you're learning Spanish. So you can say, I can speak a little Spanish, un poco de español. So hablo inglés, filipino, alemán, un poco de español y japonés. All right? You can do that too with your own dialect. In the Philippines, we have so many dialects. Now you can just put it there as it is, and that's it. Hablo Kapampangan, hablo Pangasinan, and hablo Ilocano, no? Ilocano. Don't forget, here is N, okay? So let's write that down. Means N. Hablo inglés, Kapampangan, Ilocano, Filipino, y un poco de español, and a little bit of Spanish. All right. So let's recap everything. We have to learn how to say our name. You just have to recall all the questions on your own. And this is us having one full round of self-introduction. So, me llamo, mi nombre, soy María. Tengo 20 años. Soy de Filipinas. Vivo en Berlín. Soy profesora de español. Y hablo inglés, filipino, alemán, español y un poco de japonés. There you have it. That's a basic self-introduction. Please practice it. No, this one. Practice this. Make your own script. Write it down and fill it up with your information and practice it over and over again. Memorize and practice. Okay? If you have questions, please save them all for our synchronous meeting. Now, at this point, we will have also a recap of all the new words that we have learned. And I know it's a lot. And I know it's just not this, but everything. Okay? So let's recall. If you can still remember, it means you are listening carefully. We have el nombre. What is it? Any idea? El nombre. Name. Good. Muy bien. La edad. That is the age. El país, el lugar. That is your country or place you're from. La residencia, your place of residence. La profesión. Sorry, there's no space in there. La profesión, your job, what you do. And los idiomas, the languages that you speak. Now, in the middle, we have the question words. Okay? We have used como. Como is how. ¿Cuál? ¿Cuál? Maybe I can write that, okay? That is how. ¿Cuál is which? I am now giving the literal translations of these question words, no? ¿Cuántos? We have how many or how much. We have qué. ¿Qué is what? And we have dónde is where. Okay. So, ¿cómo? ¿Cuál? ¿Cuántos? ¿Qué? ¿Dónde? All right. Next, we have, let's move this, verbs. Now, these are the verbs that we have touched previously. We have llamar. Llamar is to call. We have como te llamas, right? We have como te llamas. How are you called? How are you called? Como te llamas? We have also ser. Ser is to be. This is you, your state. Ser, no? Ser. To be. We have viver is to live. Vivo in. Viver is to live. These are in infinitive form, okay? Which means it's not yet conjugated. So again, please remember we conjugate the verbs according to the subject of the sentence. So if you want to say, I live, it's vivo. Who lives there? I. So I would use vivo, okay? And usually you conjugate and change. By conjugation, it means you just change the ending, okay? That again, we will be discussing later on in the succeeding lessons, no? And we have hablar. Hablar is to speak. Okay, so we have llamar, ser, viver, and hablar. Here, you can just write it down later, right? Just watch it again and take note of el nombre, la edad, el país, el lugar, la residencia, la profesión, and los idiomas. In English, you can take note what they mean or how they are translated. Yeah. So these are all the words that you have learned today. And again, put them together and use them in terms of asking for personal information and practice introducing yourself in Spanish. Now, I'm leaving you with some videos to watch for you guys to get used to hearing and also comprehending these words and phrases. In the meantime, we can still watch this.
Tíos Penis, aprender español. Hola, señores y señoras, y a todos los demás. Bienvenidos. Hoy os enseñaré las presentaciones, las frases que se dicen para presentarse a un desconocido. Hay dos formas de presentaciones, la presentación formal y la informal. La informal es la que más se utiliza en el día a día, donde se usa la segunda persona, o sea, hablamos a la otra persona de tú o de vosotros. Hola, ¿qué tal? Yo soy Tío Penis. ¿Y tú? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Hola, tío Penis. Yo me llamo Lola.
Mucho gusto, Lola. ¿De dónde eres?
Soy de Sevilla. ¿Y tú?
Yo soy de Madrid. Otra manera de presentarse a alguien es la formal. Se usa para presentarse a una persona de mayor edad o que consideramos más importante.
Buenos días, señor. Yo soy Pepito. ¿Y usted cómo se llama?
Buenos días. Yo soy Tío Penis. Encantado de conocerte.
Encantado de conocerle también a usted, señor.
Ay, estos niños. Como yo soy más mayor, usa la forma de respeto, el usted, con la tercera persona. Mira, ¿quién acaba de entrar en el bar? El rey don Juan Carlos. Yo tengo que conocerle. Buenos días, Su Majestad. Me llamo Tío Spenis y es un honor poder hablar con usted. Hola, buenas tardes. Encantado de conocerle. Como habéis escuchado, el rey, que es muy educado, ha usado también el usted para contestarme, aunque no necesitaba presentarse, porque es muy famoso y ya todos los españoles lo conocen. Adiós, Tío Spenis. Me ha llenado de orgullo y satisfacción hablar con usted. Adiós, Su Majestad. Ha sido un placer. Cuídese. ¡Qué emoción! Hoy, gracias a vosotros, he conocido al rey. Espero que os haya gustado la clase. Yo estoy encantado de haberos conocido. Cuidaros y hasta la próxima. Tuturuturu. Tío Spenis, aprender español.
Right, so that's the first video. You can again watch that over and over again. There's this one nice phrase. Where am I? Okay. There's this one nice phrase that we can also add to our vocabulary. Ha sido un placer. You can add this to your vocabulary. It means it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Ha sido un placer. Ciao, adios. Okay? You can add this to your closing conversation vocabulary. Ha sido un placer. Ha sido un placer. Muy bien. All right. And I believe there's another video here. So this is now introducing ourselves. Now, first one with the first video is showing you a glimpse of formal and informal situation greetings. And this time we will be seeing how we introduce ourselves when it comes to this information that we have to give, like age and other things. Okay, let's watch this.
Bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio de Super Easy Spanish para principiantes. Hoy estoy en la ciudad de Valencia, en España, y voy a pedirle a la gente en las calles que se presente a sí misma. Comencemos. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Yo soy Sebastián. Yo me llamo Sebastián.
Yo me llamo Alejandro.
Yo me llamo Camila Llanes.
Hola, me llamo Joan.
Yo me llamo José Luis.
Yo me llamo Fernando.
Yo me llamo María.
Pues yo me llamo Sergio.
Yo soy Juan. ¿Cuántos años tienes?
Tengo 54 años.
Mi edad son 25 años.